Okay, so picture this. A world-famous journalist, totally burnt out, escapes to Florence. All he wants is a little peace and quiet. His name is Arthur Finch, and, well, his plans are about to get completely turned upside down by a secret that's been buried for centuries.
And this quote, it just perfectly captures where he's at. He wants no murders to uncover, just the sweet Italian art of doing nothing. He even says he was feeling prosciugato all'osso, which is a great phrase that means drained to the bone. Florence was supposed to be his sanctuary.
But, you know how these things go. That peaceful, idyllic vibe, it doesn't last very long. His quiet little vacation gets interrupted by a super compelling local mystery and a really ambitious young journalist who just happens to spot him in a cafe.
So let's meet our cast of characters. You've got Arthur Finch, enjoying an aperitivo when he meets the energetic Sofia Moretti. She tells him all about this mystery, a stolen Renaissance painting, the Giglio d'Oro. But here's the real kicker, the thing that gets his journalistic senses tingling. The authorities seem way too eager to, and here's a great Italian expression, insabbiare la casa, to basically cover the whole thing up.
And that's it. That's the question that pulls him in. What starts as a simple theft quickly snowballs into this dangerous investigation, packed with forgotten clues, shadowy figures, and some very, very real threats.
Okay, but here's the twist, the real twist. This whole captivating story, it isn't just a story. It's actually the engine for a pretty brilliant language learning tool.
The book we're diving into is called Il Gigio Proibito, The Forbidden Lily. It's part of a whole series called Misteri Italiani, and it uses Arthur and Sofia's entire investigation to create this really immersive way to learn intermediate Italian.
So, instead of just memorizing grammar rules from some boring, disconnected list, you actually learn them as part of a story. The plot itself keeps you hooked, so you're absorbing vocabulary and sentence structures totally naturally, just because you want to find out what happens next.
So you're probably wondering, how does a mystery novel actually get Italian grammar to stick in your brain? Let's pop the hood and see how this thing is built.
The whole method is built around this really simple but super powerful loop that you see here. In every single chapter, you're guided from just reading the story to actively practicing the language you just saw. It's a neat, self-contained system that makes sure what you read actually stays with you. And here's the secret sauce. Look at that glossary. You're not just learning single words like spark or drained. No, you're learning the full, natural expressions that people actually use, like scintilla creativa or prosciugato all'osso. It's the huge difference between sounding like a textbook and sounding like you actually belong there.
All right, let's get back to the juicy part, the story, because the plot is specifically engineered to keep you on the edge of your seat.
I mean, what starts as a simple chat over drinks goes from 0 to 100 really fast. The mystery starts to push back. At first, it's just cryptic warnings, but then Arthur himself gets physically attacked. The stakes just keep rising and rising until bam, they find themselves trapped face to face with the real power behind the Mancini family's secret.
And the warning Arthur gets, it's direct, it's brutal. Mind your own business, American. This isn't a game for nosy journalists. Leave the Lily alone. Leave the Mancinis alone. All of a sudden, his quiet little vacation has minacce and agguato, lurking threats.
And the guy pulling the strings? We find out it's the Mancini family lawyer, a totally ruthless protector of secrets named Visconti. This guy isn't just a lawyer, he's more like the custodian of the family's darkness. He confronts them, he traps them, and he makes it chillingly clear that he plans to make them disappear for good.
So, this is where it all clicks into place. You see how these two things, the high-stakes story and the language method, work together in this perfect synthesis? Think about it. When you are emotionally invested, when you genuinely need to know if Arthur and Sophia are going to escape, you're way more likely to remember the vocabulary you learned in that same chapter. This suspense gives powerful context to the new words, making them stick in your brain so much better than a simple list ever could. And you know, the book's own description just nails it. It's all about learning through a truly exciting story that mashes up art, history, and suspense. It's built for anyone who loves Italy and wants to dive into the language in a way that's actually fun. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's that having emotional stakes creates way stronger memory hooks. When you genuinely care about what happens next, the vocabulary and grammar tied to that suspense get deeply embedded in your mind. This whole approach doesn't just make learning fun, it makes it more effective. It turns it into an adventure you actually want to be on.
And that really makes you wonder, doesn't it?
What other complex subjects could we unlock, not by studying harder, but just by getting completely and utterly lost in a really great story?